Another way of improvising a mould for a candle is to form a shape in some damp sand. The sand is usually strong enough to hold the hot wax that's poured into it, and also combines with it to produce a rough, sandy texture. The shape that David is using here is a square, formed by packing damp sand around a piece of wood. When you've enough sand and are sure it's packed firmly around the wood, you can slowly pull the block out. This will be your candle mould, but make sure there's not too much sand at the bottom. Then pour in the hot wax, a little hotter than usual, about 127 degrees centigrade. The hotter the wax is, the more it will penetrate into the sand to give a thick sandy coating on the finished candle. Remember that when you're using wax at this temperature, you have to be a little careful how you handle it. As the wax cools, the level of the liquid drops. This is because the sand around it is soaking up the wax. So the mould has to be topped up with more hot wax about 5 minutes later. Then you leave it to cool for about 2 hours. When the wax is set, but still soft, this is the time to put in the wick. First, make a hole in the centre with a wicking needle, and then just push the primed wick down into the hole. You can use the needle to hold the end straight, and then top up again with more hot wax, but be careful not to knock any sand from the sides into the liquid. After about 5 hours, the wax is cold and completely set. Now the candle can be tipped out of its bucket. You can see that although the inner candle has a square shape, the thick coating of sand and wax on the outside gives it a heavier, chunkier shape. Once you've got your basic candle shape, there are several methods of decorating the sandy surface. Firstly, you can shape the candle to any form you wish by planing off excess sand with a surform file. Then you can scratch a pattern or design into the surface of the sand. David's using a pair of dividers here to trace a circle. Then he carves deeper into the sand using an ordinary artist's scalpel. A small sharp knife would do the job just as well. If you want to reveal the original clear wax surface, you can melt away as much sand as you like using a gas blow lamp and a sharp knife. Finally, you can shape the wax in any way you wish with a hot electric iron. You can carry on like this, ironing back and melting away until you've got the shape and design you're happy with. Sand candles always burn down in such an interesting way, especially if you've made wax windows in the sandy surface.